welcome back to Skill Learn. In our today's video, we are going to continue our advanced Excel charting topic, right? The advanced Excel charting topic. And under this particular topic, we are currently studying our fourth example, right? Which is dumbbell chart. Now, what is a dumbbell chart? The first question that might come up in your mind, that what is a dumbbell chart and why do we need a dumbbell chart? Okay, so here this particular chart that you get to see is a visual representation of the dumbbell chart, wherein what you do is that you compare the data between two time frames. Okay, so you compare the data between two time frames. So here if you'll see, we have employee engagement score for 2023 and 2024. So what we have done is that the darker orange color, this particular one is 2024, and the lighter orange color is 2023. So here if you'll see, in some of the cases the employee engagement score has increased when we look at in reference to the y-axis, and in some of the cases it has decreased as well. Okay, so if you need to show up the data on a chart wherein you are demonstrating or comparing the data between a two time frame, then in that particular case you use the dumbbell chart in Excel. Now, how do we create the dumbbell chart in Excel? Let's try to understand that. So for that, I have already used this particular worksheet, so I'm going to introduce a new blank worksheet, and let's copy the data from here and paste it in the new worksheet. Okay, let me a little bit zoom out as well so that you have a clear visibility about what we are trying to do, right? So here if you'll see, we have the employee engagement score for different departments in an organization. So let's say if you're working as an HR analyst, or if you're working as a, let's say, it is not only for the analyst, but the HR managers can also use it in their PowerPoint presentations and things like that. Okay, so let's say you did an internal survey, and what you got to understand that for different departments, for production, finance, customer service, operations, in 2023 there was a particular engagement score. Same way for 2024 you have a particular engagement score, right? Now, how do we actually see that? Like, although like if the number is very less, so you can see, right, in some of the cases the engagement score has increased, in some of the cases the engagement score has decreased, but how do we represent it into in terms of chart? So that is something that I'm going to begin with, and let's try to understand. Now, to begin with this, right, we need to use a type of a chart which is called as scatter plot. Okay, so we are going to use the scatter plot chart in Excel, and scatter plot only takes numerical data. Okay, and here if you'll see, we have like departments, production, finance, these all are text data type, right? So in order to actually take the in order to plot the scatter plot, we need to define the position or the number of the department. Okay, so we are going to introduce a new column here, and the name of the new column is Y position. Like for an example, it will be Y position, and let me define the position as well. Okay, so what you do is that you have defined the position of the department, like production specified to 1, then finance specified to 2. So this is how you have defined the Y position. Now let me correct the font as well. I love my font. Okay, right, so this is what we have. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to now start plotting. Now, when you're plotting a scatter plot with a with something which has a textual value, never ever select the entire data and then go and plot the scatter plot. Okay, it will create something else. So first we are going to create a blank space. Okay, blank chart. So we go to the scatter tab. Okay, like this particular tab, and here we are going to select the scatter plot. Now, the moment you select the scatter plot, now we need to plot something into it, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to right click. The moment you right click, you have an option here which is called as select data. The moment you select that, you get a pop-up which says that select data source. right? So we need to define that what is the data source. So we click on add. The moment you click on add, you get multiple series names. So the first series is going to be engagement score in 2023, and the value of it is this particular range. Okay, and what is the value of the y-axis? The value of the y-axis is this only: production, finance, customer service, operations, IT, but we are going to define the position of it rather than defining the value. Okay, so that is one is done. Now we are going to add the second data, which is engagement score of 2024, the x-axis value. This is the x-axis, and what is the y-axis value? The y-axis value is the y position. Okay, and then you hit OK. Now what you are going to do is that you are going to click OK. Okay, and the moment you click OK, the scatter plot has been plotted now, right? Can you see? Let me just increase its length a little bit and put it here so that it's a little bit visually clearer for you. Now, focus on the next part here. The next part is, like, can you see the orange one? This orange dot, it shows the engagement score in 2024. Same way the blue dot shows the engagement score in 2023. So the difference between these two should be represented by a line, correct? So we need to first bring in the difference. Okay, so what is the difference? Let us introduce that as well. Okay, and the difference would be that in 2024 whatever it was, and then in 2023 whatever it was, right? So 15% is the difference for the production. Same way we are going to select and drag it down and change the font, of course, the most important thing, right? So this is the difference, and the spelling of difference is also not correct, so let me correct that as well, right? So this is the difference that we have. Now you might say that, Rashid, the way we plotted the engagement score and of 2023 and 2024, are we going to plot it in the same way, the difference as well? No. Okay, so you are going to use an inbuilt feature within this, okay, which is the error grid lines. Okay, so you're going to select the 2024 data, click on the plus icon, and from here you are going to introduce the error bars. The moment you have introduced the error bars, now can you see you have the x-axis, y-axis? So you are going to first delete the y-axis of the error bars. Okay, the moment you delete it, now you have this entire thing, right? And after that, what we are going to do is that we are going to select the error bars, right click, and we are going to format the error bar as well. Okay, so when you're formatting, there are multiple options, right? You can format the direction of the error bar, the end style, you can define the error amount as well. So here we are going, what we are going to do is that we are going to make it minus. Okay, end style would be no cap. Okay, and then the error amount is going to be custom, and now we are going to define the error values in the negative, because we have the negative error values here as well. Okay, so the positive can be taken care of as is, but the negative needs to be defined, right? And the moment you hit OK, now can you see the plot has been actually plotted? Okay, so almost we have been able to actually plot almost the exact replica what we were doing in the dumbbell chart here. Can you see? Almost everything is plotted. Now the next part here is that we need to plot this entire y-axis as well, right? Currently, if you'll see in the y-axis, we have numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and all, and each number that you have, like 0 indicates nothing, right? But 1 indicates production, right? If I scroll up, then 2 indicates finance, then 3 indicates customer service. This is what we have defined here, right? So what we need to do is that to be able to convert this entire numbers into the actual text, what we are going to do is that we are going to introduce the points here. Okay, like we need to introduce the data points. Okay, now what do you mean by data points? So this particular data point, right, this data point, this data point, this data point, this data point, it has an x value as well, and it has a y value as well. So y value we have already defined, like 1, 2, 3, 4, here the y position. Same way we need to define the x position as well. Okay, so the x position is going to be 0%. Okay, so here we are going to bring in the x position. X position is going to be introduced, and it is going to be 0%. Okay, and we are going to actually drop it down and make it Montserrat. Right, now you might say that, Rashid, what I did not get you. What exactly did you do? So here, if you'll see, what we did earlier is, just one moment. What we did earlier is that this is this particular number, right? This particular number 1 is the equivalent to production, right? But production cannot be entered as is, right? Because scatter plot does not take the textual data, correct? If I'm not mistaken here, that this scatter plot actually does not take any textual data. So what we did is that we plotted the departments by defining the y positions, right? But every position in a scatter plot has an x value as well, and it has a y value as well. So this particular x value is 0 comma 1, right? So 0 means 0 point of the y axis, and same way x axis is the, sorry, apologies, I think I have mistaken here. So every thing that you get to see here, okay, every number that you get to see, it has a x position as well, and it has a y position as well. So how much distance, like if it goes from 0 to 1, how much distance it has moved? It has moved 0 in the x-axis, but it has moved 1 in the y-axis, right? So same way, if we want to convert this 1 into a text, we need to define its x value as well and its y value as well. And this is what I'm trying to do right now, okay? So that's why I plotted the x position as well by saying it's 0%, okay? Now, what we are going to do is that, as we have defined the x position as well, we are going to actually, like here we have defined it, right? So we know that now the x and y position is almost defined. Now we are going to select the plot area, okay, right click on it, and when you right click on it, right, when you click on like when you right click on it, so we have a lot of different options here, right? And under options we have select data option, the way we actually earlier we had introduced the engagement score of x and sorry, engagement score of 2023 and then engagement score of 2024. So same way we are going to add the x and y value for the name as well, okay? So the series name is the series name could be like you can name the series anything that you want to name it, right? So you can just name the series as like data label or x-axis or y-axis, whatever you feel like naming the series, right? So you can just name it x position or y position, or if you want to do something else, so I'm going to name it x position. Then you need to define the x value. So this is my x value. Same way you need to define the y value as well, okay? So this is my y value. The moment you do that and hit OK, a new position got introduced, and the moment you hit OK, so can you see the dotted line got introduced here, 1 2 3 4 5. Now what you need to do is that you need to first select this, okay? You click on this, right click, and then we have a button here which is called as add data label. The moment you did it, right, so that another data label gets introduced here. Now you might say that, Rashid, what exactly is going on? I actually can't understand what are you doing right now. So I know it becomes little difficult for a person to understand, but what I did is that I introduced the new data label by defining the x and the y position here, okay? And I select it, okay? The moment I select it, then can you see a format label pane gets it starts coming up, right, towards your right. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move it towards left, okay? And after moving it, I'm going to select the value from a particular cell, okay? And this is the value that I'm going to define. And the moment I hit OK, now can you see the numbers got introduced, okay? And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove the y value. Now the chart looks little cluttered, right? So let me delete this particular option as well, okay? Now the moment I have deleted it, now can you see, let me bring it a little up and zoom in for you. Still I have these like sales, procurement, operations and all, and even it is overlapping with the chart area as well, right? So let me reduce the chart area as well. So let me select this. Now can you see, is it appearing better now? Yes, it is, right? So now I'll select this and change the font, the most important thing for me. right? The moment I have changed the font, now can you see this is how it is appearing. I don't want this green dotted line, I don't like it. So what you can do is that you can go to fill, okay, and under marker you can simply like just change the color from here, whatever you feel like doing it, okay. It's completely your call if you want to change the fill from here, or the best part is you select this and from here itself you can say no fill, okay. The moment you say no fill, like the fill got removed, but still you have a solid line here. So what you can do is that you can just remove the solid line as well from here, okay. So you go to the fill option, go to the marker, okay, and under that you say border no line, and the moment you close this particular pane, now it has got removed, correct. The last thing that is pending is providing the chart title, okay. So the chart title, what we are going to do is that we are going to type it manually, saying employee engagement score 2023 versus 2024, and I'm going to select it, change the font to Montserrat because that's what I like, and then I'm going to select 2023, okay, and I'm going to give it a different color. This is the color that I'm going to give it, and for 2024 I'm going to give it a different color to it. Why? Because this should indicate now that what exactly this blue or the orange line is trying, like the blue and the orange line is actually trying to indicate. Just one moment. I think in the previous video I had used a different not in the previous video, apologies, in the previous chart I had used a different color. Here I'm using a different color. So right click and let me use a different text color here, okay. So let me make it blue. This is the color, and then for 2024 it is going to be the darker orange color that we have, okay. So this is what I have introduced here. Let me make it Control B, then Control B, and it has now become bold. Now can you see how is it appearing? And I hope I'm so sorry, I hope you're liking this, right? Visually it has come out so great. So let's copy this chart, okay, and bring it up here from what we had actually created. So in the previous like here what I've done is that I've used different shades of orange color, and here what I've used is that blue color and dark orange color, right? So that's the only difference, but it's an exact replica what we had created. So I hope you liked the video, you understood what I did. If you haven't, then please feel free to book a one-to-one mentoring session with me or any of the Skill Learn mentor, and we'll be able to help you with all your doubts. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you in the next video as well. Thank you.